Welcome back to another episode of Chump the Champ TV. It's your boy Corian Knight, aka Zeus. And today's topic, we are going to talk about the different divisions and athletic associations in college after high school. I bet right now, when it comes to it all, you only think that there's NCAA, of course, when we see the most, and maybe you've heard of NAIA, maybe you've heard of the NJCAA, which is the JUCO and community colleges. But have you ever heard of the NCCAA? What about the USCAA? No, neither one? Well, I'm glad you're here today. We're going to talk about them, along with all the things that they offer outside of high school sports, like advancement, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to continue your education, which is the most important part. Of course, we want to play sports. We love sports. It's our lives. However, making sure your education is first priority is always the number one. You have to get your education, got to get your grades, got to get your lesson. Like my grandma used to say, you got to get it. We student athletes for a reason. We have to do it, right? So do something that you like, right? You feel me? Let's make the best out of the situation because we got to go to class anyways. Starting up, we have the NCAA, the National Collegiate Athletic Association. We know what the NCAA is. It's where our Power Five schools are, our Division Two, our Division Three. We know about our big Power Fives. We got our Ivy Leagues. We have our mid majors. We have our smaller conferences that are also D1 or could be D2 or D3, and they each govern themselves accordingly, right? The bigger D1s have all of the big funding, right? For athletic scholarships. And those are the guys that we mainly see on TV. The Florida States, the Bamas, the Oregons, the North Carolinas, the Dukes, the Tennessees, the Florida, the Miamis, the big D1 schools, right? And then we fall into Division Two. There are a lot of great D2 schools out there. When it comes to D2 schools, you have your top schools like Harding, Valdosta State, Pittsburgh State, Grand Valley State, Central Missouri. Fantastic athletic programs. You can't go wrong going to one of these schools because they also have pipelines to the pros. Valdosta State has been dominant since I was in like high school, which is like 2014. They've been cooking since then. Like they've been even before then. They were always a good program and a good school to go to. They always had a couple of guys go out and go pro, or even transfer from there to bigger schools and get real legitimate playing time, real minutes. In short, these D2s, they don't play around. You're gonna get there and think, oh, it's not D1, bro. They still go crazy out there. Like they still go hard. You can still go pro from D2 to the NFL or the NBA or wherever else. They get, you got to be on your P's and Q's of it because you might think because they're not big time D1 that they're soft, they're pushovers. Nah, not even close. Even going into D3, their schools go crazy too. Like you got to go there and really put up some numbers to be that starter, that go to, that key player. It's difficult out there. Other schools have great players as well, but you can be one too. And it doesn't have to be an NCAA D1 because D3 is hard, crazy too. We got schools like Wesleyan. We got schools like New York University, UW Platteville, Randolph Macon or Mason, whichever it is, like UW, crazy fire athletic programs, great education as well. You will get your all of everything you're looking for at a D3 school as well. None of them fall short when it comes to athletic talent, skill development, and program resources. Like they all go crazy. You can get a great education and a great athletic opportunity at a Division 3 school as well. Do not let anybody fool you thinking that D1 is the only way to go. Even in the NAIA, you have schools that will cook people, absolutely pan fry people on the court, on the field, on the track as well. Insane work, I'm telling you. Schools like Kaiser in Florida, right? Did you know that, yes, the cooking school, Kaiser, the culinary arts school is on the commercial? Yeah, their football team is pretty fire, pretty crazy. Like, we'll cook people. You got schools like Indiana Wesleyan, Indiana Tech, Florida Memorial University. You feel me? That's my stomping grounds. But there are schools in the NAIA that will also cook people. You can go there and still go Division 1 or go to the pros. Dennis Rodman went to an NAIA school. So did Scottie Pippen. Dogs, like real life, genuine, literal dogs. Like anybody, you can do it from any school. It does not matter. But the only thing you got to focus on is getting into the school, get looked at by the coaches, and getting into the program, the athletic programs, which is what we're going to get into, right? So most of these programs have standards. I know for some sports, that depending on the sport, right? Like track and field, you have an athletic scholarship standard for most schools. You can go on their web pages and go to whatever sport you're looking for, whatever team, and you click recruits. They'll have a little questionnaire or they have scholarship standards you can look at. And it's pretty much simple things you can do to kind of get nudge your way in there. You can see where you match up against other students versus their prospective athletes. You can see their standard and where you are. If you're there, even better. Send the email in. Hey, I'm interested in coming to this university. Da da da. Talk some scholarship numbers, whatever they want, whatever you want, questions that you have. Be sure to have questions, right? Don't just contact coaches with no questions in mind, no plan or anything. But we're gonna have to make a plan, right? However, it is very important for you to go in prepared. Going in prepared is the number one thing you can do to make sure you get the best outcomes that you can get every single time. And being prepared just means go in and know what you're looking for, right? We talked about knowing if a school is right for you, knowing how to pick what school I want to go to based on my major, what I want to do, what I would like to explore. Go into these schools and look up what they have to offer academically because it's very important. You don't want to be stuck somewhere and trying to transfer out right when you get there. It's a hassle, it's a headache, it's so much, but it is possible, right? I'm not gonna tell you that you can't do it because you can, but I'm saying before you get to the school, do just a little bit of research. It ain't gotta be nothing. You don't gotta do a whole book report. Just know what the school has to offer. They might not have a certain program that you're very interested in, and that means that might not be the school for you, and that's okay. You know what you can do if that's not school for you, but you want to go to that conference? Boom. You can go right to their schedule or right to their conference page and look up who else is in their conference and try those schools out. Look at those schools, see what they have as well. Every school offers something different that is unique to the school, but you got to find out what is perfect and unique for you. That's the most important part. Next, we have the USCAA. This stands for the United States College Athletic Association. The USCAA is smaller than the NCAA. However, they still offer athletic opportunities. They don't have as much athletic funding as the NCAA has because the NCAA is pretty much our governing body when it comes to athletic sports for college. However, the USCAA does have sports available, right? They don't offer as many athletic scholarships, may not be full, but they have maybe some partials here and there for their athletes. They typically have a smaller campus, typically a smaller school in general, right? But the opportunity is there still. I can say, hey, I went to this school, I averaged 10, 15 points. I want to transfer later. Cool. They'll be like, oh, they'll look at your stats and whatnot. They'll see your game film, see how you've been playing. If you can play, they'll give you the opportunity if you want to leave. But if you decide to stay, that is cool too. Doesn't matter where you play as long as you get to play, right? That's the important part to me personally. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to run. I wanted to jump. I just wanted to be somewhere where I could do what I wanted to do athletically. Next up, we have the NCCAA, and that stands for the National Christian College Athletic Association. Yeah, that's it. Now, personally, I think I didn't even know about this until quite recently, not like a couple of days, but a couple of years recently. Um, and I was just like, what? There's a whole like NCAA for Christian colleges? Had no idea. And then I found out they actually have great sports teams. Like they are actually not. God is with them. I'm telling you. Imagine hooping with God on your side. God, I pray this shot go in. I'm throwing it backwards. Like it is what it is. But these schools offer scholarships. They do have scholarships there. You typically play in a smaller setting, but their actual division is broken up. So they have like NCCAA Division 1 and Division 2. And comparably to NCAA, I assume that it will be like playing a Division 2 or Division 3 school. Like that size and caliber of competition and athleticism, that's kind of the comparison that I would make in that situation. But it's there and it's available. So it's an option, it's an opportunity to get some playing time, to get skill development, because all coaches want to win. Like that's what you're here for. You're getting paid to win. So if they see an opportunity where they can help you develop and they can help the team win, I don't see why not. If you're working on your game, you're getting your stuff together as far as grades, test scores, planning for college visits, doing all of the things that you need to do to make yourself a better athlete, a more recruitable athlete. It's a win-win. You can also go on the school's web pages and find what they're looking for in athletes, whether it's basketball, football, track and field, softball, soccer, whatever, baseball. Every school has an athletics page, and you go on that page and you click athletics, find your sport, and then when you find your sport, there's a little recruitment questionnaire. You can fill it out and get direct contact from the recruiting coaches or even the head coaches or the assistant coaches. Somebody there will get back to you. So when you do decide to reach out, make sure you're prepared, or at least in the process of preparing, right? Then we have the NJCAA. For those who don't know what that is the JUCO athletes. When I was in high school, everybody knew that JUCO was where you go when you didn't have the grades to go big time D1, because everybody in JUCO was a dog, like a monster. Cam Newton was at a JUCO. Imagine athletes like Cam Newton being at JUCO because they either got in trouble or something happened. They couldn't go to their Division 1 school for whatever reason. But now you have this area where it is strict development. They are there to win, to play, to get better, and transfer to a bigger school afterwards, which is very important. You have to have that mindset that I'm about to get in here and I'm about to go work. Like I'm about to put in some work. I am going to get better. That's what JUCO is. JUCO is like training camp for it's pre D1 training camp. Like JUCO is crazy. Dogs go to JUCO, really. But while you're there, a lot of people leave their JUCO and just transfer in. Some people don't typically have their degree when they leave. I've seen it before. Make sure you get your degree. Like if you're already there, don't only be a magician on the court or on the field or on the track. Be a magician in the classroom too. Just get the degree. When you have to go to school, why not just go to school, right? But JUCO athletes are always fantastic overall. It's insane work. It's just watch a JUCO game. Go watch. You will see high flyers. You will see the fastest people you've ever seen. I am telling you, they are all dogs. JUCO athletes for track and field, Terrence Laird, Andre Ewers, like, dogs, like complete dogs. That's LSU, Florida State. Like a lot of guys come from JUCOs to big D1s because that's the pipeline for it. If you don't go from high school, you go from high school to JUCO to D1, and that's literally how it goes these days. It's crazy work. And that process and pipeline, JUCO athletes go crazy. Aaron Rodgers was at a JUCO. Like Aaron Rodgers. And that's all I got for you today. I'm glad I was able to really dive into the different divisions today. So, just to review, we have the NCAA, the National Collegiate Athletic Association, and they pretty much act as our governing body for college sports in general. That's where all the TV time is. That's where all the big money for scholarships and whatnot goes. And then that's broken up into three parts. We have Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. All great opportunities, all great programs. Division 1 require the most time and effort and attention and energy and the most skill to get into for sure. However, that does not mean it's the only option. And it means if you don't get there, it does not mean you're not skilled either. That's not what that means at all, because there's a pipeline of things. And just because you are in a school that's not Division 1 does not mean you're not skilled or not good or not can't even go pro. That is not what that means. By any means, we see it all the time. All guys don't get to go big D1. There's a cap, there's only a certain number they can take. and there's only a certain amount of schools available to give, But D2, great options. D3, fantastic options. NAIA, you get to develop with a closer knit community, and you still get to play. You still get to ball. It can be softball, baseball, basketball, football, tennis, whatever it is, but you get to do it at any school you want. It doesn't have to be the big Power 5 D1s to be valuable. Then we got JUCOs. Come on now, JUCO guys. You know what's crazy? When you go to a JUCO game, you just know you're gonna see somebody get dunked on every time. You got to. Athletes like Aaron Rodgers went to a JUCO. Yes, the Aaron Rodgers. Dog, like Aaron Rodgers? Of course, Cam Newton, all kind of guys. But when it comes to JUCOs, back in the day, like I said, I don't know about now, but back in the day, it was typically for the guys who went to high school and were fantastic but didn't have the grades. But we're working on being a better recruitable athlete, right? So we're getting our grades first, and then we're getting our recruitment profile up, and then we're working on reaching out to coaches. That's what we're doing. So grades first. Number one, keep your grades because you want to remain eligible. You don't want to have to come to school and sit out because of grades. That don't even make sense. That's not even a good deal. Why would anybody want to do that? I know you don't. I didn't. So you gotta do what you gotta do, right? We're student athletes, not athlete students, right? Although I prefer to be an athlete student back in the day, but hey, we got to get it done either way. So when it comes to grades, I don't think you know this. However, you can get a full scholarship into whatever school you want. You can get a full scholarship to LSU to play football, to go be the the, the next best thing. But you can take a full scholarship and actually not even get accepted into the school. How does that work? I don't know how it works, but I know it's happened before. I know somebody personally that it happened too. I was like, dang, that's crazy. How does grades come first every single time? I promise. And then we broke down the NCCAA, like the National Christian College Athletic Association. You get to hoop with Jesus? You get to run with God? Imagine. You know they balling. They got God on their side. They gonna win every game. But another great option. And then you have the USCAA. Come on now. You get some playing time. You get to go there and you actually get the ball and develop. I don't see any downsides, honestly. What I didn't get to talk to you guys about was prep schools. How could I miss prep school? Look at me, I'm tripping. Now I got you though. So a prep school is basically an extra year of high school, but a precursor to college. Let me explain that real quick. So, do you remember when LaMelo Ball went from Chino Hills to Spire Academy and then he went to the team in Australia, Illawarra, something like that? Something of that nature. However, that was a prep school. Spire Academy is a prep school. That is a place where you can go after high school to develop athletically and academically. They have prep classes where you can go and start to get ready for school, for college, because going to college is a big transition. Honestly, let's keep it a buck. High school was harder than college in a sense because I had so many classes and homework every day. But bro, like college, you might have classes 3 days out of 3 days on Monday, two on Tuesday, maybe depending on how many classes you take. But and it's pretty much you have an assignment to do. College, a cheat code to college. Just read the textbook. I know it sounds awful. I know it sounds crazy. I know it is the most absurd thing you've heard all day on this beautiful Thursday. Just read the textbook. I promise you will pass every class. No worries. Study hall tutoring, all of that good stuff. Yes, just read the textbook. I promise. Everything in college comes from the textbook. Everything. But prep school is a fantastic opportunity. The is really for just development. It is literally for you to go there, put in some work, play against other prep schools, get better, get offers, and get out of there. So imagine now with the recruiting timeline, with JUCO years not counting anymore. Imagine going from high school to a prep school and then doing 2 years at a JUCO, and then you get you a D1 scholarship. That's 3 years of development. insane development. That is, you're gonna go into your D1 school or whatever, D2, D3 school, NAIA school as a 3 years to develop with college coaches, equipment, weights, like insane opportunities. And they should definitely not be taken for granted. So that's all I got for you today. Champs, if you took notes, drop them in the comments. To all my future All-Americans, I will see y'all later. Chump the Champ book still coming out. I'm not sure exactly when. I'm working on it. I'm piecing things together. It's coming through. It's a big puzzle, but we're going to make it happen so you can get it and get what you need to have done, because I really want to see everybody succeed. You're going to be great. And if you follow these steps, start going in with plans, start making questions, and you start figuring out what you want to do and where you want to play at, how far you want to go from home, is the school right for you, all of those good things, and you start going in with plans. If you follow the steps that I'm giving you, you can create your opportunity to get to a school. I don't care what school it is. It can be a D1, it can be a D2, it can be a D3, NAIA, NCCAA, USCAA, a JUCO, a prep school. You have to get in one. The only way you will not get into one is if you start missing steps, your grades start slipping, you stop developing athletically, and you just start falling off. These are key things that you need to be doing to get into these schools, and you can do it. I know you can. But until next time, champs and future All-Americans, see y'all later. Chump the Champ TV, we out.